Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my first impression of the Sephora Perfection Mist Airbrush Foundation. I have been dying to get my hands on this foundation and try it ever since I found and fell in love with the Era Beauty by Classified Cosmetics Spray Foundation. I have a Get Ready With Me featuring that product, so I'll put that below if you haven't seen that yet, and you can actually just maybe compare the applications and how it looks on my skin. That one is expensive. It's $55. Took about 2 weeks to get to my house. I had to order it directly on their website, and not the easiest product to get a hold of, although I freaking love how it makes my skin look in person and in videos. Finding and falling in love with that prompted me to want to look into other spray foundations, and the only ones I really knew of were this one by Sephora and the Dior Flash, and I had asked in that video your opinions, and a lot of you said this was a really good foundation, so I picked it up last weekend in the wrong color. I actually picked it up in honey, thinking that was the right color for me, and hated it. Hated how it looked, hated how it applied. I don't know, it was just bad all around. Before giving up on it, I wanted to switch out my shade for the correct one, which is medium, and I want to share with you what I think. You get 2.5 ounces and it retails for $28. Number one reason why I wanted to try this, because if I could find a dupe for my Era, then that would be a win-win situation. I actually just finished up my Era. I had the little travel size. It did last me a pretty long time, but I wasn't using it every day. I'd say it lasted me about 2 to 3 months, maybe using it 2 to 3 times a week. So before I repurchased that, I wanted to give this one a try. Spoiler alert, I'm kind of in love with it. This does not contain any SPF, and you can apply it a couple different ways. Obviously, you could apply it spraying it this way, which I wouldn't actually recommend. You can apply it with a beauty blender, you can apply it with a foundation brush, and in this video I used both of these so you could see that too. And see this foundation in action, then just keep watching. Okay, I have not really hydrated my face since this morning when I put on my moisturizer and SPF, so I'm just gonna kind of re-moisten my skin with this Hydrating Milky Mist by Pixi. It's awesome. I've really been enjoying it. It has hyaluronic acid in it. It also smells really good. And then this is a primer that I talked about in a recent favorites video by Kevin Aquan, the Sensual Skin Primer. I do about 2 pumps, and again, I just feel like this is a really nice little hydrating step, and also preps my skin for the foundation to stay put. Like I've said in that video, I've really been getting in the habit of concealing a little bit before I put on the foundation, just to make sure my skin is really even. I do have some acne scars and dark spots that I like to just cover up. A lot of hyperpigmentation through the brow area. And then I'm using the Sephora Pro Airbrush 57 brush just to blend that in, not super perfectly, but just to where it covers, so I could see if I need to go back and do even more coverage before applying the foundation. This is the Urban Decay Stick Foundation. I don't know if I mentioned that. And I have it in the shade FDI. Okay. So, skin is prepped pretty even for the most part. We're gonna start. I'm using this in the shade medium. Initially, when I bought this, I purchased the shade Honey, because when I had tried it on my hand in the store, Honey looked like a better shade, but when I got home and actually put it on my face, I looked like I had a really bad tan job. I swapped it for medium, and I think this is gonna be better. So I'm gonna try it 2 ways. I'm gonna try it because initially when I tried it on my beauty blender, I didn't like how it transferred onto my skin. When I use the Era face spray, this is my go-to little tool, but I found it to be a little bit of a different application with this product. So I have a brush here too, in case this doesn't work. So I'm just gonna spray it directly on my beauty blender and just see which way I like applying it better. For some reason, I just feel like not enough product comes out onto the sponge, or the sponge just absorbs too much product instead of putting it onto my skin. This is definitely a much better shade match thank goodness. That is my left side of the face, and it hasn't completely covered up these scars the way the Era does pretty much instantly. But if I have to layer this a little bit, it's okay. To do my right side, just because I'm really curious to see how the application differs, I'm gonna spray it on the back of my hand and apply it with this brush. This is the Sephora Pro number 47. It's very cold going on. I do think that the spray, the actual mist, is a lot more, what's the word? Concentrated. If you wanted to spray this on your face, I think you could without it getting everywhere. Whereas with the Era spray, when you spray it, it gives off such a wide range. Still think applying it with a brush or a blender sponge is the way to go with these spray foundations. I just think you have way more control over where you're putting it. It feels like I put a lot on because I kept spraying it, but again, I just don't think as much product comes out as I'm used to with the other one. I really didn't use a lot of product. It does set pretty quickly. I am really loving how it looks. A little bit of product goes a long way, covers really well, has really nice coverage, and it is buildable, as you saw. I'm actually not gonna set it. I'm not gonna set it with my setting powder. It feels good. It feels like it's kind of been on my face all day. Very soft. Feels like a baby's bottom. I'm gonna put a little bit of blush. This is Coralista from Benefit, which we all know and love. I would be so excited if this foundation is as good as I hope it to be, because it is so much cheaper than the Era and a lot easier to get. This is the Profusion Highlight from Makeup Forever in Golden. A little bit under the brow. And then I am gonna just do this Ambient Lighting palette as just a finish to the skin, not necessarily to set anything. Just kind of gives you that soft focus Instagram glow that we all love. Using the Lolita long wearing, what are these called? By Kat Von D, Everlasting Liquid Lipsticks. I'll have my eyes linked below, but if you're curious, I just used the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Copper, and then I just took my Urban Decay Basics palette and used one of those neutrally brown shades, and I blended that into the crease. I didn't go crazy. I'm really impressed with this foundation. I'm loving how it looks on camera. I'm loving how it looks in real life. I hope it's coming across on camera how good it looks. It does not contain SPF, so I think this is gonna be really great for photography. I think it's gonna be really great in videos. You can find this at Sephora. It retails for $28 a can for 2.5 ounces, which I think is a great price considering their competition out there. I actually really wanted to try the Dior, but then I saw it was like a $60 foundation and you get even less product than in here. I'm really glad that I tried this one first because I actually don't really have any desire to try the Dior Air Flash. I don't know really how much better my skin can look. It looks exactly like it does when I use the Era. So excited. I think I can actually consider this a dupe or call this a dupe, but if you guys have not tried this foundation, I would encourage you to, and definitely try it out in the store and go outside because the lighting in Sephora, at least in my store, is terrible, and thank goodness I went back and swapped the shades because I don't think I would have given this foundation a second look if I stuck to the shade that I thought that I was. I hope you guys enjoyed this little first impression, get ready with me tutorial. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye!